And welcome to episode 16 of Police Box Paradox. I'm Wes, that's Michael.
Yo.
And look, let's get going.
I'm drinking.
Listen, let me ramble off all the little stuff first, and then we'll get out of the way. We are a Doctor Who podcast. Mike and I, usually Kyle's here. Kyle's busy and can't make it, and we are doing a podcast tonight no matter what. I've already shot 2 portraits and a wedding today, and got home to watch this, and I'm ready to roll.
I've traveled about 400 miles. So
that's how we get down. I want to say that we love Doctor Who. We are Doctor Who fanboys. We make no apologies about that. We're not here to bash anything. We're here to celebrate what we like. We're glad y'all are here. One caveat to what's going to happen, because we're an episode behind, so we are going to talk about Nightmare in Silver. But if you've watched the finale, as we just have, there is no freaking way we're going to talk about something else first. So we're going to talk about the finale, then loop back around to Nightmare in Silver. Now, I do want to say this as well. We usually, because of me being the spoiler police, don't talk spoilers, and we are going to talk about, in talking about the finale, there's no way to talk about the finale without talking about things we know as far as casting, shots that people have seen. We know nothing that's definitely happened in the 50th anniversary, but I think we got a good idea what's going on now, and we're going to talk about that. So if you don't want to hear about that, come back to this in November, I guess. I don't know, but because we're going to talk the crap about it a lot, because I'm bouncing off the walls right now. I'm so excited. So we're going to talk about this stuff and go from there. So, Mike, let's start like we normally start. How do you feel about this episode? The Doctor's name.
It was all right.
Just all right. That's what you're gonna slow play that. That's what you're gonna do. Okay, that's fine. Do that then. You just
all right. I will say this: I cannot give my proper response because we try to keep the podcast off the explicit list.
Yeah, we don't want to do the explicit list podcast. So. Because to be honest, I might do that. I'm expecting at any moment. My wife was, and one of my daughters was an episode behind, so while my son and I watched the finale, they were upstairs watching the Cybermen episode, and then now that I'm downstairs recording, they're all watching the finale now. So at any moment, I expect my wife to come back.
So we could easily have a cameo of Chris and Peyton at every point and just popped out. And
just running in and going, now what is happening? Who is the Valley? Why is John Hurt the Doctor? Like, that's what I'm expecting, is it to go crazy
That'll work for me
in my household. So I'm going to say I give this episode like a 9.5 out of 10. Because, like, look, nothing's perfect, but this was dang close. I don't even know where to start. I've got a bunch of notes for when we talk about Nightmare in Silver. I don't really have any notes for Doctor's Name because I've just ran out of this room watching it, and I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
And there's some big stuff that happens, and one thing that I think didn't get recognized, and I want to get to it first, is River's dead. Right? Am I wrong about that? I mean, clear it up if not. Obviously,
at this point, I don't know, because she acknowledged, it's all acknowledged that she's in Cal, she's in the library.
Right.
But if she's a computer program, how is she psychically doing crap?
I don't know. But here's the thing, like, we know that River died the first time we saw her in the library. Like, that was her physical death. But we know, because they meet throughout different ways and times, that we have at least a physical being River. Does this mean that we are not going to have a physical rendition of River from now on? While you're breathing, people, we don't recap episodes step by step like and go, well, this happened and this happened. You just watch the show. You know what we saw. We're just going to talk about it because things are happening. I'm like, right now, I feel like I'm on 50 cups of coffee because I am fired up.
And he needed that with the day he had.
Yeah, it's a long day today.
I am completely clueless as to River at this point. It would be a decent send off for her.
Like,
this is this final time we see her, but I don't think it is.
See, I think it is.
The only reason I don't think it is why Why throw out that little crumb of, wonder why I'm still here if Clara's gone?
That I'll give you that, but then
And
she
spoilers.
disappeared. But then
Yeah, she says,
like,
but I don't know. And everybody, it's going to be a fan petting for her to see her get that Sonic.
yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, at some point, you're going to have to see her get that Sonic, or there's going to be
So
fans
maybe
out.
we'll-
There's going to be River fans
There
that are
was just-
going to
to me,
throw a fit.
It was so beautiful seeing that, just her saying, you know, say it like I want to see you again, and then she said goodbye, sweetie, which, if I'm correct, is the first time we've ever heard that. And that there was just something special.
Which is a full circle compared to the first line she ever said was "Hello, sweetie."
Right. So that's what made me think this is it right here.
Maybe maybe Moffat purposely left it open in case someone else wants to.
Right.
But he doesn't have any intention of doing it. Who knows?
Yeah, it's
It
again,
is so in limbo. I mean,
because the timeline's all because we've already seen the last time he saw her technically.
yeah, we're past the last time that. Yeah,
Because he took her dancing or whatever at the place and all that.
yeah. This is
brand new
after the
young
library.
face.
Yeah,
Yeah. But this is the first time we've seen River since after the library.
after the
time.
library. Yes.
I know this doesn't play in as much, but I want to get back to it. Matt Smith on the couch crying was strong acting.
He's been doing it. Yeah, I mean,
And we'll talk about Nightmare in Silver last week with the scenes he played against himself. Some of the best acting I've seen, but him on the couch crying when he realizes he's going to Trenzalore was nuts. Now, we've known Trenzalore was the resting place of the Doctor, or where he died. That, I guess I'd built that up differently in my mind, but I'm going to say I was not disappointed with how it played out. Obviously, there was a battle of all battles there, and it's a future Doctor that takes care of it. But the fact that it was different than anything I'd expected Trenzalore to be for some reason, but it was perfect. It was what I had in my mind. Apparently, was stupid because what I had was nowhere near that and didn't make me near as happy. So the tombstones things, the TARDIS leaking out. The one thing I'm going to say, then this was the only thing that I have against the episode at all, and it's just stupid and cheesy, is, man, we kept going back to show that there was a giant TARDIS. I get it. Like, it was like for no reason. Like, here's another shot. Just so you know, here's another shot. It's like in Jurassic Park, the first time you see the Tyrannus, if you had seen the same shot of the Tyrannosaurus Rex 10 times, you'd be like, look, we get it. It's awesome.
Well, see, all right, this goes to something I've wanted to post on this side. It's like, these people do this. This is way off the mark. But the point was that Jurassic Park was screwed up because you blow your entire load by showing everybody the T-Rex first thing. So you have to keep showing it
over and over, over and over. That was what is it's the movie sins video where it's like everything is wrong with
yes,
Park
yes,
and, like,
the sins, yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
They made a good point. No theme park in the world would give you the biggest thing they have on the first stop of the tour.
On the first thing,
you know, they're going to hold that out to the end. They're keeping these kids engaged. The visual of the gigantic TARDIS overlooking, because you knew good and well whenever he made this comment that the size of the tombstone was in relegation to the rank, you knew that he was going to have something epic. I didn't expect the TARDIS. I expected when we turned it, I expected them to be by a mountain or something and us zoom out and they not realize that was his tombstone. That was the side.
Yeah.
But having the TARDIS was great, because where else would you entomb the Doctor but the TARDIS? Because that's where he needs to be. So,
okay, I'll ask you. Talking about the TARDIS. Does it bother you that the TARDIS the inside theme of the TARDIS is the current one? Do you think they should have picked something different? Or are they trying to make you sit there and think, well, is this going to be the last change in the TARDIS you see?
I almost bet they didn't think about that. Which is weird because Moffat thinks of everything. I'm not 100% sure they didn't think about that. That's a good point, because they could have easily mocked up like a one, or they should have went back to like the first one.
Or here, this will
go back to stuff.
This will hurt your brain.
Oh,
obviously,
man. I didn't make my
obviously they were going to that, and the whole point was everything that's happened with him, past, present, future, and everything else. We never got even
Battlestar Galactica right now. Is that? Everything that has happened shall happen again.
But no, my point was that we didn't see anything past now.
Right.
So what has the timeline?
What do you mean we didn't see anything past now?
Just what I said.
No, because here's the thing. I've not listened to the audio from the stream yet, but I will bet you just about anything that there is some line from the 50th that is in that time.
There might be, but it's still is that still the current timeline, or has that timeline where that's where his tomb and everything is that a moot point now?
I feel like,
or is that still going to be his resting place?
I feel like that's still his resting place. I feel like it's a fixed point in time that we can't change. But I almost feel like when Clara goes in, she basically negates everything that the Great Intelligence did. Like, I feel like we just beat the Great Intelligence. He was just defeated. Like, he's not going to be the big bad for the 50th anniversary, which is obvious now. But I feel that whatever damage he did was automatically corrected when Clara went in, because she made sure to clean up the mess that he had created. So I feel like everything we knew is still the same. Now, the twist, obviously, is the fact that he has now went in to save her, which, and again, people, because we got a lot of people watching live. Usually we don't have as many people live. We usually don't talk spoilers. We're not talking anything spoiler because we don't know anything definite about what's happened in the 50th other than people that have been cast. So we're going to talk about those things and how it works with this. We've been wondering all along, do we see, like, the David Tennant that we're going to see in the 50th anniversary, is he our David Tennant? Is he our 10th Doctor? And where is he in the timeline of when we get him? And I think that's irrelevant now, because I feel like the entire 50th anniversary is going to take place inside the time stream. So it's almost like we get to do whatever we want and it not affect anything, if that makes sense. Like, we're gonna,
orgy.
Yeah, we get to literally just jump point to point and quantum leap everywhere.
Because technically the episode ended with them still in the time stream.
Right. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, the entire 50th is taking place in the time stream, which means all bets are off. We can do whatever we want. We can go to any segment. You know, we can.
Do you think them going in the time? This is completely off the wall loop. Okay, but since we're talking about this, do you think that? I mean, with the lines that they gave Matt Smith, there's a loophole for how he's still the 11th Doctor and everything else. He's like the 12th regeneration apparently now, but he's still the 11th Doctor.
Hold on, say that again.
The lines that they gave Matt Smith, him talking, referring to the character that we saw at the end of the episode. That is a previous regeneration at some point, because
I don't agree.
See, the way Matt Smith talked, though, he is a past. Matt Smith knows who he is. It's a past regeneration, though.
But, and again, I don't know everything. I don't remember if it's Tim or who that that broke it all down. It may have been Dangerous Danny Oz. The Valeyard, that's who John.
It's still, yeah. I mean, it's still a regeneration. That's what I was saying.
But he's a future regeneration, even though.
How would Matt? Would he have ran into him at some point then?
He knows all the stuff he knows before. Like the third Doctor spoke at the Valeyard's trial. The Valeyard was on trial for something, and the Doctor spoke at his trial, like, prosecuted. So he knows the Valeyard exists.
Valid.
So, to me, John Hurt is the Valeyard. There's no doubt in my mind about that, and he's the big bad for at least. That was my next thing. At least
that he's the big bad, yeah.
If not going on. Because
do you think it's something like he's been locked up in the time lock with the time war and everything else, and them going in the timeline unlocked him?
Well, this is because I've thought about this, because I love time travel theory. Let's say you know for sure you're the 11th Doctor, and you know for sure at some point you are going to become the Valeyard, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, if you kill the Valeyard, if you destroy it and causes regeneration, you know that you fix it. So you know that you are eventually going to become that, but you also get to live with the peace knowing you're also the one that fixed it. So it's like a big loop.
True.
So that's where I think we're going with it. I think the 11th, because I think the Valyar's the 13th regeneration. I may be wrong. It was either he's the 13th or he's like a weird
He's between the two or something.
Yeah, he doesn't count for some reason.
I'm going to watch all this junk between now and the 50th,
we're going to have to go back and watch the old ones, and we're going to have to get like a get off my lawn research team on this.
Well, he called it. Did you see the email he called us out on? I'll send it to you. Danny's basically like, well, he wants to see us watch the multiple Doctor episode specials between now and the 50th and talk about it.
I've got time. I got time between then. If you'd say like
you don't have time. You're the one human being that needs a damn TARDIS. All right.
Here's the thing. I have little pieces of time, like 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. If I can couple them together, I can make one piece of time. Basically, I have to jump into my own time stream to get moments like this to happen. Valyard was prosecutor of the 6th Doctor. So the Valyard was prosecuting the actual Doctor, not the Doctor prosecuting the Valyard. I haven't seen the episode, so I don't remember anything.
Who is he, Tim? Who do you think Kurt is?
Well, he says that he thinks John Hurt
is the last incarnation, not something before man. Okay.
So the Valyard, is the Valyard the last incarnation? I thought
in between the 11th and the 12th.
So if he's in between the 11th and the 12th, then that's what we're having. I'm telling you. Which also Matt Smith has confirmed he's in the season.
He's in the 8th. He's in the 8th.
Or Series 8, yeah. Unless he's lying. I would lie. I would say, yeah, I'm in Series 8, and then no one knows that you're
I will say this. I hope that they don't do some big casting change halfway through. I will say, looking back on this, I think that hurt the entirety of Season 7. If we have an episode that refers to the entirety of it.
What do you mean?
Where they went from Amy and Rory to Clara.
So you think it was happening in a finale?
I would have liked to have seen a full season with Clara to this point.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because it's I don't want to say it's rushed, because story-wise it's worked, and all the stories have been so one-off that they've not, like...
But I think if they had more episodes, they could have played with it more.
I think it would have been pretty cool if, let's say the even-numbered episodes were the Clara that we know that jumps into the time stream, and the odd episode Clara were like one-off Claras that he finds in different places in time. I think that would have been cool.
Hey, at least I was right about meeting Clara Prom.
That's a good point. You were right about that.
I was right.
And listen, thanks to Danny and several other people, I don't remember the conversation, but we've been talking about the Valyard, who we honestly neither one knew anything about.
No.
For several.
And he was mentioned by name, which I don't think was unintentional. I think that name was thrown out there like, here you go.
The second they said because that's what I've been saying all along is, there's no way you can just bring him in without mentioning him in some way. And I'm laying there on the couch and he goes, blah, 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 the Valyard. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's coming now. It's going down. I didn't need to see John Hurt at that point. I was like, that's exactly what's happening right here. And you know the internet is broken right now, because the end of that shows John Hurt turning around. The great John. Is he a Sir? Is he knighted?
I don't know.
I'm going to call him Sir John Hurt because he should be. He turns his face around and it says, introducing John Hurt as the Doctor. Literally, Moffat's like, F you, internet, have fun. And that's all. He's like, have 7 months of that. That was just like, boom. How you...
All right, we have to... while we're talking about everything, I saw... You were talking about the internet being broken. I just saw, right before we started the actual number, there were 210 copies of the season shipped early.
That got out? Okay, that was less than I thought.
There wasn't a damn torrent. There wasn't
Nowhere.
Nothing.
Let me tell you, I know people that know people that know people that get stuff that falls off trucks. And we had
people on our Facebook page say, I know people who have it.
But no one's getting... And here's the thing.
It was not leaked anywhere.
I love that Moffat gets ahead of it and goes, listen, if y'all don't do nothing stupid, I will give you a clip of David Tennant and Matt Smith together. I'm just saying. And everyone's like, shh, don't say that. Everyone back it up.
And people are threatening, listen here, you stupid, if you do anything,
And that you know what? That makes me happy. I've intentionally, when I found out it leaked, I did not want any spoilers on this because I knew nothing, and I was so excited that I didn't want to know anything. So I've stayed away from, like, I don't even know if I've opened up the Police Box Paradox Twitter page. I know that I did some stuff and moved some stuff around when Google Plus upgraded and stuff, but for the most part, I've not touched anything because I will admit,
when I could not find something to download, because I've looked every day between now and then because I knew I was going to be busy today.
Oh, I know. If I could get it, I would watch it.
Yeah,
because then
the fact that I could not find it anywhere.
Nowhere.
I've tried to avoid, which is kind of why I've not posted as much this week, was because I was afraid to look. But yeah, let's see here. I actually posted that question on the page. Oh, thank you. You know what? That's why I have the Twitter page now.
Good point. It's a good point.
No, we're over 300 likes, which isn't a huge deal for most, but thank you all for listening and liking. Yes. And
I got thumbs up. I have to talk so my screen goes big.
Yes, all right. I asked with the news, if you were going to avoid spoilers. And it was kind of 50-50 with the responses. There were people who were like, I don't care about spoilers or whatever, I'm going to watch. But the other people were like, yeah. I avoid it. And even Troy, who writes for the site now, he says every Saturday he avoids the internet because he wants to avoid the spoilers that UK get before us.
Let me tell you how this became a little kid at Christmas moment for me. So I get my copy of the episode because we are sometimes provided advance copies. And I want to check and make sure everything's all good before I leave to shoot this wedding. So I saw you post it, yeah. I sat down and I click real quick because I want to check it. And this episode starts. And it does the zoom out from Gallifrey. I was like, oh man, we are watching the Doctor steal the TARDIS. This is pretty sweet. And then all of a sudden, Clara is with... Like, as soon as she comes out to the first Doctor, I'm not lying to you, my jaw dropped and I was just like, and I couldn't shut my mouth. I started giggling. I got excited. I'm not joking. As manly as it is not going to make me, I had tears come up in my eyes because I was like, what is getting ready to happen? Because it was something that never crossed my mind. As many times as we've seen her pop up in Matt Smith's timeline, not one time did I think, she could have showed up somewhere else. She has been there all along, and she will be there until the end. And it has blown my mind, and it was done beautifully. Interspersing those old clips was perfect. I'm hoping they do something like that with people in the 50th. It was amazing. And if I had known that was coming, it would have ruined a joy like no other. I felt like I was opening a present on Christmas Day, and it was the only thing I wanted all year long. That was the best 2 minutes and 30 seconds opening of a show ever.
Well, I didn't do that. Driving up to had Abby's birthday party, so we were driving. And
how many birthday parties does this child have?
This birthday this year has been a 3-weekend event.
That's what I was going to say. Every time I look at something, this girl is having a birthday, and I love this child. She's amazing, but damn, 3 weeks of birthday celebration. Even the Mad Hatter don't get that.
It should have been this weekend, but the in-laws wanted to have a party up north where they're at, so that was 2 weeks ago. I'd promised her the aquarium, so we went to the aquarium last weekend. Dang. And then the actual party was this. That's what I've said. I said, next year, we are not doing a 3-weekend event. No way. But
yeah,
I have a couple of links where I have been able to find it to where I can watch it live stream when it's airing on BBC, and that's saved me 1 or 2 weeks with all the things I just mentioned. And I was trying to watch it driving up 75, and I got it pulled up and was watching the clip of Clara and the Doctor.
I'm trying to watch it driving up the interstate.
Well, I was riding. I wasn't driving. I was riding.
I was like, damn, you are grinding.
And the stream wasn't coming in good, the video, but I was still able to hear the audio. So I listened to the audio for a few minutes, and it was their conversation there in the living room when the doctor really started getting upset. And I was like, okay, I have to stop this. I am not, no, I even had to stop because I was like, okay, no.
Yeah. Man. I don't look. I don't know what to say because I don't have a lot of notes. Because again, just got done watching it, and I'm going to say that the explanation for Clara and how she ended up in all these places and doing all these things is perfect. We had the post on the Facebook page that led to a theory about Bad Wolf splitting her and sending her to all these places, and while that's not what happened, it's very similar. Like, as far as the end result, how it happened. So I'm happy with it. I thought it worked extremely well. I think it just makes total sense. I'm glad that we didn't get his name. I'll be honest, I got scared for a second. I thought his name was Please, and I was like, that's a weird name.
Yeah, no.
But River, I love River. Why? When you type it, mute you.
Knew he was going to do something stupid to save everybody else. So.
Yeah. Well, you felt it had to come because the doctor's not going to let you kill his people.
Hey, I just invited Dan Slott to come talk with us, so
okay.
We'll
see what happens.
Yeah, right.
The
one of Claire's versions of her is apparently Gallifreyan now. When you were talking about her seeing the first Doctor.
Would that make her part-time Lord? Because she's being born in these places.
Yeah. So.
Well, now my mind's blown. I can't say anything. You've
Yay!
Because
I'm upset that we didn't see the connection. If they're going to leave, do you think now that we've got the explanation of Clara, that they're going to leave that whole date on her mom's tombstone and everything just there?
No, I think that.
Or do you think they're still going to come back and?
I think it comes back because I think because we're in his time stream, we can see all the places she is in his time stream too, because that's where she exists now, is in his time stream.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that we're bringing Rose back for the 50th, I believe that there's
going to be that's where the connection's going to be.
Yeah, I think that we'll see it in there somewhere. I'm really, 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 really excited about the 50th now. I think that. Who wrote this episode tonight? I need to look that up. That's something
I think Moffat, to be honest with you.
I'm going to be shocked if Moffat didn't write it, but I want to see.
Since you brought up the Doctor's name, are you disappointed with? Do you think the title was a cop-out?
No, I don't.
Or do you think the point of the title was, in fact, the Doctor's name, which goes along with John Hurt and all that stuff?
Yeah, I think it was. I don't feel ripped off.
Do you think it references more the last 3 minutes of the episode than actually what?
Yes.
The Great Intelligence was wanting.
That's exactly. Yeah, Moffat wrote this and Saul Metzstein directed. I don't see what else he's done. He directed Crimson Horror, Snowman, Town Called Mercy, and Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, which all visually, some different visuals there. He did a strong job, though. But Moffat wrote it. Moffat needed to write that episode, and he wrote the 50th, too. So, about the only person I'm going to say that I'm not necessarily going to say take over Moffat, but that I trust like I do Moffat at this point is Gaiman. So,
and he says he's come out and said that he wants to write another episode, and this time make it scary.
He's had 2 points that he wants to do. One, he wants to bring back the Yeti.
Make
it good. And 2, he wants to make his own character that is deathly scary. So, I'm all for that.
Yes.
So let's. I guess. What else do we need to talk about on?
DC Sensei just made a point that would retroactively explain how she was able to read Gallifreyan.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Smart. That is a good point.
But you also would have thought, maybe
she remembers stuff from each timeline somehow. Then too.
Connected.
Yeah.
Now, maybe.
Because it's all spiderweb from inside the time stream.
I think they could run with this and have all sorts of fun with it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways you can go.
So, Although I am curious, I guess we have an explanation as to why the TARDIS didn't like her, but you think the TARDIS would like her better since she was apparently helped get the Doctor to take sexy instead of somebody else?
That's a good point. You would think that, but
do you think that goes against Gaiman's other episode?
No, I don't think so. Now here's my question: so did that happen all along, or has that happened now? Because the way...
Well, she had to have been there all along, or the Doctor wouldn't be there.
You think?
But... the timey-wimey...
Right, can you change time, or what happened? Because those choices are already made.
Because everything that had to happen to get them to Trenzalore...
time travel theory.
But then the Great Intelligence went and did that, and made Strax mean instead of yelling, "Do not divulge our military secrets," when they pointed out that they were weaponless. And my head hurts.
So I do wish I knew.
Can I play Mr. Roboto yet? Okay.
So. I wish I'd watched more classic Who, because I'm willing to bet if you knew classic episodes that it was really cool to see where she was in certain episodes, because I bet you've seen that before, right? You've seen all those things happen?
Those were all clips, so yeah.
So you've seen dude hanging off the side of the ice thing with an umbrella, and she was right there the whole time. So I think that would have been awesome. Like, I think it would have been cool if you'd seen... I don't know. You'd seen
and for anyone listening, and I will say anyone listening that you don't think you did, we saw all 1 through 10. I mean, you might have blinked and didn't realize it.
I saw Eccleston. I didn't see Tennant.
Tennant, on the shot of the cityscape where you were looking from behind her, the cityscape on a balcony type thing, that one was Tennant. Tennant's over there on the right hand side. So
okay, I saw Eccleston ran by.
And the 8th Doctor, McGann, ran by at 1.2.
The weird half American movie version guy? Yeah. Okay. So we're not... So basically, let's do this. The theory that in the 50th John Hurt is going to play a Doctor that happened during the Time War, we're getting rid of that, right?
The argument is that the argument is that the some of the photos from the filming make it look like he's wearing Eccleston's leather jacket, which would put him between 8 and 9. I even read one theory before we started online that was questioning if Hurt is actually just a aged, at the end of 8's timeline before regenerating, that he's just a older version, which makes no sense to me compared to everything else we saw.
Right, because Matt Smith has lived hundreds of years and not aged at all.
Yeah.
So why would that one generation age? All right.
So I don't know.
Do we have
I think it's up in
it's for the finale.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we may come back to it.
My head still hurts.
Yeah, mine does too. Look, I'm gonna watch this finale 2 or 3 times this week.
Oh, I am too. I'll watch it. I'll watch it again after we get off here.
It's really, really, really well done. I like how it plays out. This is why I get disappointed with the one-off episodes, because I think when Moffat has an entire roller coaster arc that he wants to do, it's like this, but. And then sometimes you don't realize it going through, but when it happens, you realize all the stuff you've done.
Now, I will ask you this since we're getting ready to jump into Nightmare for a second. Do you think this was the best episode, at least of this second half? Because if not, I'm guessing Nightmare is probably going to be it. No, if not,
I think. Because Kyle and I always have this discussion, and then
cupcakes taste numbing.
And then he throws back and makes me realize that I have to bring in all the first part of Series 7. And I think Asylum is the best episode overall. I just think it's a very, very good episode. I think it's definitely Clara's best episode. I think it's the best. This is amazing, but I think okay. With Asylum of the Daleks, the writing is spot on. It's perfect the entire time. This is great, but I think some of the greatness is happening because so many big things happen. You know, it's like going and watching a summer blockbuster. It doesn't necessarily have to be it's not The Godfather. It's stuff blowing up and we get excited. And in this, we find out who Clara is, which is breathtakingly well done. And we get a lot of stuff. We see previous Doctors, and that excites us. So it's almost like I'm scared to say this was the best episode because I feel like maybe in 10 years I would look back and go, it's great. But I was just really, really, really excited, and now the excitement's worn off. So that's why I don't want to say it is. And I liked Asylum better than I did Nightmare in Silver, but Nightmare in Silver is amazing, and we're going to talk about that too. So yeah, I think it's great, but I'm not sure I'm going to say it's going to stand the test of time, but it may. Matt Smith has some good parts.
Yes, he does. And I will ask one more thing before we move on, and it's just a side thing. They're emphasizing the sonic screwdriver. Him blowing on it like it's an NES cartridge trying to get it to work.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's something else going on, or do you think it's them basically saying, yeah, we know the Sonic was doing everything short of cloning a baby. Now it's not.
Yeah, that's possible. Like it got
to where it was doing everything.
It's like in Kingdom Rush, which is the greatest game on iPad ever. When they first released it, the electric towers were way too powerful.
Yeah.
And after so long, they were like, we tweaked those back because we realized that it was just too much. Same thing. I think they've realized that they've gone overboard with the sonic screwdriver and that it can do everything. And
instead of just barely just not using it, they're actually showing you, hey, it's not working. It's not doing everything you want it to do.
If you remember back, there's times where Tenet would beat the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Like, work. And then, I'm fine with that. Yeah. I would also be cool with a new Sonic at some point, too.
I'm actually shocked we haven't gotten one already.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He's been here a while, and you would think maybe. I think it's just kind of breaking the rules because he's been here the longest out of anybody we've had in this new series.
Tim, quit hurting my head.
What'd he do?
Paradox. If the Doctor didn't want to know who she was, would she have been able to save him?
Ooh, no. But since she saves him, that's how she ended up in that place. It would have had to have happened already. It all comes down to you believe that you can change time, because if not, every decision that you make is actually taking you to the decisions that happened and cause what. I'm telling you, if you're ever in a long car trip, break down some space-time continuum. See how that works. That'll get you all the way across the country. All right, I gotta get rolling. So
let's get going.
We're going Nightmare in Silver, which was last week's episode, which I want to talk about. Written by Neil Gaiman, who is a genius. And apparently, because I've never been a big gaming guy, because I didn't read Sandman. I haven't read American Gods. I've not seen.
I haven't either, and I feel kind of bad for that.
Well, I've got the audiobook now. I got American Gods audiobook and another audiobook of Gaiman's this week, just because of how good Nightmare in Silver was. And I think we were all in agreement that it was amazing.
Yes.
So we've already said Gaiman's decided he wants to come back and do more. His schedule is the only thing holding him back. That makes me happy because I want him to do more. If you told me Moffat was leaving, if you said Neil Gaiman was taking over, I would do a dance on top of this desk. That's how excited I would be, because he writes in a way that makes me happy. Like it just makes sense. And I think he's a genius, and I can't wait to read American Gods, and I may go get all the old reruns of Sandman and see what he did, because I like him, and I feel stupid for not doing any of his stuff.
I do too. More so as it goes.
Yeah. So, I've got notes, and these are in random order. So I want to say that I'm very excited that Psychic Paper is back.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen it used in a while.
In a long time. And when it came out, I got really excited. I was like, nice. I'm glad you remembered you had it, because Clara had no idea what it was, and probably
did it annoy you that the kids just popped up? That you didn't see them hold? Come on, let us go.
Here's the thing.
That would have been a good little webisode or something to show us how they get on.
That's what I think. They should have done a prequel with that, because I think what happened is Gaiman's episode was so chock full of stuff that they didn't even have time to put that in.
Yeah.
And I do think they're giving us a little credit for being halfway intelligent and understanding that they blackmailed their way on. So, you know, how hard
Still
is it going to be
nice
to get the kids on there? Yeah, I think a prequel would have been good. I think they should do prequels for every episode. I think it would be a good bridge, especially in these episodes, since we're not having a continual, like, we're not on a continual journey like the other.
Since apparently Saturday episodes are based on Wednesday adventures.
Right. So
that was just random that they did that.
I'll just agree with you. Side Paper is back and it's awesome. Let me tell you something else that's awesome. Willow was in this episode.
Yes!
And I'm sorry I don't know his real name, but
Warwick
Willow.
Davis.
Warwick Davis. Good point.
I am so... You've not seen the site lately, have you?
No.
Have you seen the spoiler posts that I've been doing under the other name?
No.
And doing the stuff with Momentum Killer?
I'm hoping it's the 12 doctors are telling me.
No. After I watched the episode early, I do these little bullet points for the spoilers for the episode for the American watchers. And 2 weeks ago, when Clara said that she was the boss, I had a picture of... Who's the boss?
Tony Danza?
Tony Danza. You know, I had my paragraph that said, scroll past Tony Danza to see. And then for this one, I had scroll past Willow, and, you know, it was a picture from Willow. And then I think the last bullet point spoiler I had was that Widget, was that the Ewok that he played? Wicket. I said, Wicket's the Emperor.
Oh, that's funny on about 3 different levels. Listen, here's the thing. I hope that he comes back. I think the character Porridge can be strong. And like,
I think it could be another one of those friends of the Doctor that...
Yeah. I don't want to get all political and stuff, but I find it amazing that people have realized that, and I don't know how many people out there are watching Game of Thrones, apparently a lot. What Peter Dinklage crushes. I don't know if he's won.
He's got top billing in the credits now.
Yeah, he should, because
he should.
The best actor on the show, regardless of what height anyone is. He is the. I want him in other things. A lot.
Well, he's in the X-Men Days of Future Past.
We don't.
He's in the new X-Men movie.
Voice or what he's doing.
No, but he's part of it. I don't care if he shows up, waves, and walks off.
And listen, I don't know of a lot of Warwick Davis stuff. I mean, yeah, he was Wicket, but you're Wicket. That's just because you fit in the costume about as much as anything. Now, Willow, when I was a kid, I loved. I've not watched it in probably 20 years, so I don't know if I love it still. But I'm going to say I do because it was awesome. But like in this episode, this is what I've seen him act in recently. Very well done.
Yes, he was good.
Strong actor, and if he's that strong, figure out roles to put him in because he is good. I hope he comes back. I would like to see him go on an adventure with the Doctor. I think that maybe
or call for help from Clara. I mean, that would be an easy fix. Just have him.
Let him have a crush on Clara and need her back. That one girl says she's going to be Empress of the Universe or whatever. You need to bring the kid back. I will
say the one problem I have with him is what kind of emperor goes around all episodes saying that the planet is going to implode from the bomb and the bomb makes the planet explode.
I actually asked that whenever it exploded. I was like, I thought the thing was going to implode because this seems opposite of that.
I was like this, like the special effects crew called Gaiman. You want this to implode? Yeah. It's a lot easier to explode. Is that all right? No. Well, yeah.
And they said, "Don't worry, it'll implode."
Yeah.
And then, boom.
There's a little implosion right there, and then it explodes.
So, don't wander. He says, "Don't wander off," and then does the sign as a spooky, like, "Woo!"
Yeah,
which is funny. But here's what I want to say: the Cybermen are now awesome. I have disliked the Cybermen, not wholeheartedly. But I've been a big proponent, similar to how I felt that the Daleks are just trash cans walking around. I've been a big proponent of the way to beat the Cybermen is to walk fast.
Fast, yeah.
Just kick it up a half a notch, and you're good to go. And that ain't the case anymore. because they're smarter, they're faster, they're agile, they can detach body parts to do all kinds of trickeration and strategery.
Warwick Davis was in the Harry Potter films and the Leprechaun from the Leprechaun movies.
Okay, one, I just forgot he was in Harry Potter, and it wasn't a huge role. Two, Leprechaun, we're counting that as a movie now? Is that what we're doing? Is that, like, because that's fine cinema? Do you think he looks back and goes, I'm proud of
I'm pointing at the Twitter feed. This is the Twitter feed for me over here.
Leprechaun in the Hood, is that what's happening right now? I'll look at the Twitter feeds.
But
I love you. No, yeah. Say, but you bring up Leprechaun.
I like.
Jennifer
that's what the one thing that's
right now because you brought up Leprechaun.
Yeah. She's sitting somewhere at home, be like, "Oh, someone just mentioned Leprechaun."
Someone mentioned that.
Oh,
which they are going to reboot, just so everyone knows. Leprechaun's being rebooted.
Yeah.
So be excited.
They will reboot everything. One of these days, this podcast is going to get rebooted with like Abby and Blake or something. I don't know.
No, okay. I don't want to ruin this because he has a tendency sometimes not to do things. But Blake says he wants to do something for the show.
Oh,
so
yes.
We're throwing around the idea of a segment called Blake's Take.
Yes,
I'm
please.
going to try to record tomorrow.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I'm just going to put it in the feed, and it'll just be there. Don't worry.
Please.
But he wants to do something, and he's pretty excited about it. So
now, for just a little backtrack, so everybody realizes this is the kid that for Christmas wanted a pet buffalo.
Blake says some stuff. We were at Maddie's soccer game, and he looks at me, and this is my 11-year-old son. He looks at me and goes, "Dad, one of my homies is over there in the enemy team." That happened. I was like, "Really, buddy? All right."
Yeah. You're not supposed to be hearing the tweets.
It's
beeps,
you.
Tim. It's me. This. You want to know why I'm beeping? Is because I had the iPad set up for this. Hey. I asked on the Momentum Killer Twitter account if this was too corny to play, and I had people say no. So,
listen.
Blame the fans. Blame the listeners.
I'm cool with it just because I've long said that one of the greatest finales of any show, season 2 finale of Chuck, if you've watched season 1 and 2 of Chuck, wraps up every loose end that could ever be wrapped up to this song, and it is perfect. It is perfect. Pure
this
perfection.
is. I'm sorry. They could have played this song when all the Cybermen came out of those tombs when you just saw them walking,
and it would have been good. It would have been good.
That was the only problem I had with the new Cybermen was how they still had to move their arms like that.
Until
like
they started rolling. Once they went bullet time, then they could do what they wanted, it seemed.
Yeah.
It's almost like they were like, let me lull you into thinking I'm slow, and then I'm gone.
I do like the whole I can detach my hand and come after you.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
Do they even require, I mean, how much organic, like, people do they require at this point if they're deconnecting heads and hands?
I don't think that much. I don't think that much. My guess is there's a brain in there. That's about it, and they're using it for the extra hard drive. I don't know. I think I would love to see more depth in this. I want them back. I think they're amazing now. I hope they're in more episodes.
And I'll admit the little cyber mott, and the way they did that is a brilliant upgrade for them to be able to do that.
Everything. I mean, like, I'm excited about how they regenerated the Daleks into a human Dalek. Like, that's a big deal. This is
adding that extra layer.
There was a line, which I'm kind of fast forwarding my notes here. There was a line that was said that I think people overlook, because I didn't see a lot of people talk about it. Or maybe they assumed that what they were seeing was that. The dude said the next batch of Cybermen will be unbeatable. I don't consider that the batch that we saw. I think those were already created and waiting to come do damage. I think they meant that the next batch after what we see in this episode will be unbeatable. So I think that means they're coming back, and I think that they're going to be ready to roll, and it's going to, it's coming. It's quiet, so obviously you wanted to kill the momentum. Awesome.
Sorry, I was reading something. I apologize.
I made a really good point, but you missed it.
Well, I'm sorry. I was replying to Tim, who said I asked Neil, and he said ask the special effects in terms of the planet exploding and imploding. The fact that Tim got Neil Gaiman to respond and got an answer from him, I was giving him my attention.
So that's not a joke? That was legit?
He just said, yes, sir, he did.
Well, that's awesome. That makes me happy. Good for you, Neil Gaiman. I hope that screenshot they put on YouTube is your face whenever that just happened. It was funny. Okay, so the Doctor is the savior of the Cybermen because he's what recreated them. I'm going to say that Matt Smith's finest acting so far in the entire series is the back and forth with himself in his mind. Because that's difficult to do and do properly.
And the fact that they were two distinct.
Very distinct.
I mean, it was...
He really, really... And the stuff when he's tied up and goes back and forth is great, too. But specifically when it is him versus him in his mind, with all the cool Gallifreyan symbols and things happening in the background, it is so well done. And he crushed it. I think Matt Smith is... I think he moves on. I don't know if it can propel.
Well, I mean, he's filming the movie. He's filming the one film right now. Is this the Monster one where or something?
Yeah, is that where he's bald headed and has a horseshoe belt buckle? Because that's a scary freaking picture. I do not need to see it.
Yeah, where he's buzzed his head.
Yeah.
Hey, he's picked up on us, and he just wanted to. He felt sorry to.
It's weird. All right.
It is. I feel sorry for him having to grow all that back out between now and...
Well, he's got time, though, because I'm guessing the next episode... I'm guessing we go 50th anniversary in November, then I'm sure
Tim said he answered a lot of fan questions, actually. That's cool.
Good for Neil Gaiman. So
I like people that do that.
So we don't know specific dates, but I'm sure we get 50th anniversary. We have to have a Christmas episode, right?
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think that'll be the next thing.
And then Series 8 will be probably March.
Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
They've played because Moffat has to do Sherlock at some point. So
yeah, and he's confirmed that there's going to be a Series 4 for that.
Yeah, he's confirmed there's 3 and 4. So
okay, Clara says at one point in this episode, the only reason I'm still alive is because I do what the Doctor says. We've been pointing out all along that unlike other companions that just randomly wander off and get into trouble, she does what he says a lot of times, and she dies many times because of it, right? I mean, she thinks she's alive, but she's died a lot. Now we know why.
Yeah.
But that was also followed with a great line, do you think you know what he's doing? She says, I wouldn't go that far.
Nah, I didn't say that.
Because obviously he never knows what he's doing. Mr. Clever learns about regenerations, and we got to see all of the Doctors. That was pretty sweet.
You know what? I like what about him threatening to regenerate? Can they just do it?
I don't know if he can just regenerate on the fly, but I think that because of everything that's happening,
or to be able to be like,
he could just let himself
things
die.
Are going on. These things are in my brain. It's time to
die. Yeah, he could just die and then regenerate. I think that's how it works. I don't think he could just be walking down the street and go, "That's a nice sunny day. I'll be someone else." And the rules of regeneration are weird because when we went from Eccleston to Tennant, we had to have a 75% of an episode where he's asleep. And then when Matt Smith did, he was able to instantly become alive and go try to eat applesauce. So I think the rules are
and spit a bunch of stuff out and
changing.
Yeah.
Hand pulsers, those are pretty dope. That's a new we haven't seen those as a way to kill Cybermen before, right? I don't think so. The ray gun's a ray gun. That just makes sense. It blows stuff up. But the hand pulsers are hand pulsers, and you have to tag them on the brain to kill the brain activity. That's a good idea. I like those, and I think those can be used in a lot of different ways. Yeah,
I like the whole perspective of them wanting children because children's minds
are more
imaginative, and they're like,
it makes sense.
I see that's something that they could play off of later.
Yeah, I think that's how they come back, and I think the Doctor
we could have different types of Cybermen.
Yeah, when children that's the next thing. Raises the stakes. Like he plays for keeps when the kids are involved. We had a golden ticket, which is obviously a Willy Wonka reference. I thought that was cool.
Tim said yes, that in terms of forcing a regen. He said the Time Lord forced the second to regen into the third.
Ooh. Interesting. I'd like to research that a little more. Okay. We also had Matt Smith say two things. He said fantastic and
Alonze, yeah.
Make me happy. I know a lot of people consider Alonze the 10th Doctor's phrase, but mine that I always think of when I think of him is him going, well. I just always picture him saying well for some reason. It just works for me.
I always liked the 10th Doctor because he'd lick things.
I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm going to say it for a minute and let that marinate for everybody out there.
Yes, please do. I'm proud of that.
Everybody good now? Everyone back? Okay. So, we had Wicket say warp jump transmata. So basically he said beam me up, Scotty, right?
Yeah.
Did we just Star Trek out? I mean, that just happened?
Yeah, we Star Trekked out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this brings me to two, and one I've already mentioned. The girl, I don't remember their names, the kids' names. The girl...
The bratty one?
Yeah, she specifically said that she was going to be queen or empress, whatever, of the universe, right? And the TARDIS gave her a new phone.
Yeah.
That has to come back, right?
If they have gotten a positive feedback from showing the kids and not people just claiming like, wow, I did it, those kids will show back up again. The fact that they continue to call the Doctor her boyfriend and no one says anything. I mean, right. And the dad apparently knows the Doctor because he left the kids with them this last episode.
He's apparently been there a lot.
He apparently just comes and goes whenever. Because I mean, why would the dad leave the kids with the Doctor unless he knew him?
I think I would be cool with the kids coming back for a few episodes. I don't want like a whole series with the kids, with any kids.
Tim, you need to be listening more.
But I think
I'll refer you to some old Geekasm podcasts since I'm not doing them right now.
What is that?
He said, Michael, that is the weirdest thing I have ever heard you say.
I'm going to go ahead and say that's not in the top 20. Not even close. No. And you don't know who Rob is, Tim. If you get them together, I can't even... Look, I can't... that's what happened. And I don't stop talking. And that's what just happened. Yeah.
There's a reason we're not in the same rooms anymore. We have to do these hangouts. We had one episode where we probably laughed. There was, an hour and 20-minute episode, and we laughed 70 minutes of it or something.
And that was the lost episode because it didn't take, and it wouldn't let us download it.
Oh, that and the Grammar Panther.
Oh, Grammar Panther's a good episode. Was that a Geekasm episode?
Yeah, that was a Geekasm episode. Yeah, that was a Geekasm episode with four of us.
That's a good episode. I love Grammar Panther.
Pounce. Meow.
I'm going to tell Jared that it happened. That the Grammar Panther brought it back. So anyway, I'm cool with the kids. I just couldn't do a long run with them, but I think having kids is a cool perspective, especially since, like, my kids watch the show, but I think my kids are different than a lot of other kids. They watch a lot of advanced stuff early on. Like, Peyton was watching Lost when she was like 8 or 9, and like into it and mythology and stuff. Like, my kids, I just feel like, because I love shows and I bring them into shows and let them watch basically whatever they want. I think they're into it, and I think maybe it's tough to have other kids always fall in. I think Doctor Who's a show for all ages. Some episodes are scarier than others and maybe too much for small kids, but having kids involved can keep them interested. So I like having it every once in a while. I think that's all my notes on this episode. I got nothing else really on that. Do you have anything else on this episode? And then you'll say no. And then here in a second, when we try to move on to the other stuff, you'll have 3 to 17 more things to say about this episode and probably make us go back to the finale. So, can you announce the winner of the contest? No, wait. Let's go back to your point about Nightmare in Silver. No? Which one?
I like how they reference Tony.
Mr. Roboto.
Oh, I'm playing it at the end again. I do like the fact that they called on Tony Stark to give them design pointers for the new Cybermen.
Valid point.
They even had it activate the same as the reactor. It's like,
look, it's making money. There's no reason not to use it.
Yeah, it's made $1 billion. That's. Did you watch it already?
No, I've still not seen it.
You haven't watched it?
No, I'm gonna try to go maybe Monday night. I got no air conditioner right now, and they're coming to fix it Monday. So if they get done, I may go.
I thought you were looking shiny.
Yeah, you have no idea what the main floor's like. Good news is the master bedroom unit still works, so we're good up there. Although I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of kids in my room tonight, so I'll probably sleep on the couch. We'll see. There's only so many kids you can fit in that bed, and it gets uncomfortable.
My daughter's been to your bedroom, I think. I've not, so I don't know.
Did she? Oh, yeah, she ran up the steps.
Yeah, she ran everywhere. Yeah.
The master bedroom, that's off limits. People aren't allowed up there. Yeah. A rule. I don't know. I'm rarely allowed up there, it seems sometimes.
When you get the golden ticket.
I like a golden ticket. Never mind. So, anyway, name a winner of the contest.
The winter is coming.
Winter is coming. Tell them what the contest was and what it was.
We had a giveaway for the Whoology book, which
is awesome.
It is very cool. I have a copy right here.
And how did you get that copy?
By my friend at Random House, because it is not going to be released in the U.S. until June 11th.
What? And you have it right now?
Mm-hmm. See, it's right here.
Aren't you fancy?
I am.
I ain't get one. Just saying.
I won't show you the other thing I have. I have the stamp set.
Of course you do.
Sorry.
Everything just gets delivered to Mike. Awesome.
It's my address on the side.
Awesome.
I'm trying. Somebody send Wes something, please.
Wes Brown, P.O. Box 3513, West Somerset, Kentucky 42564. Somerset's Somerset. Come on, Wes Brown.
Send the man something.
Whatever. Nothing like weird stuff. But you know.
I will take the weird stuff. Someone sent me a picture of a like a sex toy, like the whip thing, a flogger or whatever you call those. That was a
Not
TARDIS
sure what
handle.
You call those, Mike? Be honest
I don't know. But it was blue with a TARDIS handle.
Well, that's kind of cool. You all. I retweet. I don't know if I retweet on Police Box Paradox. My July 13th wedding, which is somewhat Doctor Who themed. She didn't show the whole thing. She showed like part of their wedding invitation that's on its way, and I will show it as soon as I get it.
Yes, I saw that picture. You
can see the TARDIS on their wedding invitation.
Oh, that looked very nice.
I almost feel like we should all go in and get them some type of awesome Doctor Who present from the podcast. I'm just saying.
I will pitch in a big punch of it. If that's something the listeners could suggest, a present for them to get.
When you put a TARDIS on your
invitation, you deserve something. You deserve something. Are they going to have a Doctor Who based cake? Or no?
I've been told that it will be a TARDIS cake topper. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of stuff still in there. She sent me a blog post. Someone had done a Doctor Who themed wedding, and it was. I mean, even if you're not a Doctor Who fan, it was gorgeous because of the way they did it. It wasn't like gaudy and Comic-Con-ish. It was very well thought out and very subtle blues, lots of window panes, very well done. I'm excited because I have 2 weddings with Doctor Who fans. Big Bang Hank3Hank on Twitter. He listens to the podcast, and I'm doing his wedding. What up?
I'm jealous.
I get to merge the worlds. 2 worlds colliding.
I'm jealous.
Happening. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, the winner of the book.
The book is.
Hang on. I didn't have it ready.
I drum rolled, yo. I drum rolled.
It's Tim.
And you were just like, kill it.
It's Tim.
Yay. Did Tim really win? That's awesome.
Yes, that was Tim. I did it earlier. So, yeah. It's Tim.
Yay. Tim he gets to know live that he won a book. That's awesome.
Yes, he does.
So now
he
won't say his
address. Or Whovian Tim 12. So Oh, I told Krista that she needed to come crash the podcast, and she just told me she's banned from the office. I said, come crash the podcast. That'd be funny.
Yes, Tim. I gave him my actual mailing address. It's on everything photography related, website wise, in the world. It's P.O.
All right, before we close, y'all have to understand this man. It's amazing. He doesn't have either a camera strapped on him right now, or he is not. If I talked more, and if he wasn't the talker and I was, he would probably be multitasking and editing photos while we were doing this.
I do need to back up cards, but I thought it would slow down the video stream. I'll wait. I've just got so much to do. There's so much to do. I'm actually uploading backups from earlier shoots right now, but that's enough. I don't want to overwhelm.
All right, Tim, I'll email you later. You can email me your address and everything else, because I need to send that to Random House for them to send it to you. You'll get it ahead of time. So she's told me the winner will get it. So. All right.
Well, that makes me happy. We gave away something. We did some good for the world.
Yes, and it's a very cool book, I have to say.
Is it? Have you read it?
I've scanned it. I've not had a chance, but I mean, it gives like it shows even things that like contradict each other. It's got like a chart for like the doctors. It'd be all reversed if I put it on camera.
Man, I wish I had a Doctor Who podcast that would allow me to get a copy of a book like that, because that would be cool to have in my life.
But it shows like a chart of like each age, each version of the Doctor has given that he is, and actually shows how he's contradicted himself and everything else. I mean, it has a lot of cool stuff in it.
Just saying, it would make me real happy to have a copy of the book.
I need to get you a copy of the book. I know.
Just saying, it'd be pretty dope.
I'll get you a copy of the book. Me and her like this.
Now look, I think it would be cool. I bought the iPad Doctor Who encyclopedia.
Yes.
Gotta be honest, it's a little lacking, and it is definitely just newer series stuff. So I would like to check that out, because I do think, Doctor Who history stuff. I would like to catch up on some knowledge without having to watch 9 million hours of shows that some of them aren't even available. Because let me tell you, if I start a series and I get 4 episodes in, they're like, we ain't got 6 and 7. I'm gonna flip out. So
I'm going to actually ask, and I'll ask live now, and then I'll ask sometime this week. I want 2 or 3 classic episodes to watch from people that know them. And
that's just it. The way and maybe I'm wrong. The way I understand it, you can't just watch 2 or 3 episodes.
Maybe a storyline or something.
Like, they're all like, according to Kyle, and he's not here, so maybe he's wrong. All of them seem to be broken up in like 6, 7, and 8 episode story arcs. So
it's more of a serial back then. Yeah.
So, and that's cool, but that's a lot to watch to get caught up on.
Yeah.
Because I still got like 13 episodes of Dallas that I'm not seeing. I got stuff to catch up on, man.
Oh, hey, the last 2 days I caught up on Game of Thrones. So in a day and a half. So
all I'm going to say, Dragon on a Chain.
Yes.
She got Dragon on a Chain and sets it off.
Yes.
That made my day. And then for some reason there was an episode where Khaleesi wasn't even in it. That was dumb. Whoever's writing Game of Thrones always have Khaleesi in an episode.
They need to.
But I'm liking some Game of Thrones. And listen, I'm just going to go ahead and say the show Vikings on History is awesome. There was only 9 episodes of the season. I feel some of it was rushed. I feel like they weren't sure they were going to have a show that would last. So they rushed it to do it. They tried to jump around and get some things done. If they'd known it was going to be as popular, they would have slowed down. That's what I'm hoping they do in Season 2. The main reason I like it has nothing to do with story or any of that, because while all that's good, and it's beautiful, it's shot so well. The light's amazing. The guy who plays the main character, Ragnar Lothbrok, who has really done nothing impressive before and wouldn't stand as a great actor, if he's on the screen, you can't look away. He dominates any scene he's in. It's really? Some of the best acting I've seen.
I might watch that now. I'm getting some time. 9
episodes. It's a quick run, and it's really good. I just wanted to
Tim's just up the road in Indiana from us.
Oh, so he can get that pretty quick.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not coming from you, though.
No, it's coming from UK. So.
Okay. So it'll take a minute. But, All right, well, if you got nothing else, I got nothing else.
Follow
Momentum
Killer 1 on Twitter.
So here's my question: was there already a momentum killer, and you had?
Yes, there's already a momentum killer, and he does not tweet. It's one of those situations.
Maybe he doesn't want to start the momentum of tweeting because it would be hard to kill.
Hey, the momentum killer account by itself, I'm glad I started, but I am proud of the avatar I found for it because I think it fits perfect.
Momentum Killer 1, ladies and gentlemen.
Momentum Killer 1. Or Geekasms.
Momentum Killer 1, Geekasms.
Michael _ Parsons. Police BX Paradox. Oddvar Ogilvy.
Fine. You can follow me, Police BX Paradox, or my photography / personal account at WB Photo, or if you're into sports, my sports account at Closed Mic. That's Closed MIC. Or if you want to hear funny stuff my son says, you can follow Blake Says on Twitter. There's a Maddie Says too, but she doesn't say a lot of funny stuff. We didn't do one from my oldest because she's a teenager and would kill us. Brown House Studio has a Twitter account, BH_studio. My assistant Nick, who shot his first wedding tonight, Nick H Photo. I can go Twitters all day. I can tweet it up.
I actually did a piece for Brown House, so
did you?
The one of kind of, sort of, the one of.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, we need to. That's something I need to promote too, because I've not done a lot of those.
No, you definitely need to promote your photo Twitter account once you get the Hoovian wedding.
Oh, you think I'm not showing that to everybody? That's happening.
Yeah.
We're getting on some stuff with those. So anyway, you can go to our website, PleaseBoxParadox.com, a proud portion and division of Geekasm's website, which is haveageekasm.com. All kinds of geeky news.
You can go to PleaseBoxParadox.com to go straight to.
Yeah, PleaseBoxParadox goes straight to the Doctor Who section of Geekasms. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Google+.
And I will say this. We hit 500 Facebook likes or 1,000 Twitter followers, and I'm going to give another giveaway of some sort. So I'll find something of significance to give away at that point.
And ladies and gentlemen, if we hit 100 iTunes reviews,
I am going to send everybody that has given a review a Jamie Dodger.
I'm going to go ahead and save him just a
I'm going to stick to that. I'm sticking to it.
I know, but here's what I'm going to say. Once we do that, they've got to send you their address. So if they don't send their address, it's not on you to send them anything.
Exactly.
So, it may be less, but you'll have to find a way to get Jamie Dodgers.
I will. I had somebody ask me that after the last episode. Are you really going to do that? It's like, for whatever reason, I love our followers. Twitter followers are great. People are listening online. People are downloading. Our numbers are up. We're doing great. But you can't twist an arm to get a review.
No.
Or start. And that's fine. I've not really left many reviews or anything myself.
I don't either. There's only a few podcasts where I've been like, let me leave a review because it's that good. Like, I love the Crab Feast very much. But I haven't left a review yet because I want it to be really funny. Because if you know that show, you have to understand why they have to be funny. But the reviews are what's going to help us bring in
more giveaways for one thing.
More giveaways and sponsors and things like that. So if you get reviews, that's great. We had a jump in numbers this last episode because it was distributed on a couple of Facebook pages with a lot of numbers thanks to Daily Dalek. They put us out there really well.
Yes.
And if you've not checked out the Daily Dalek, you need to because there are some funny cartoons that
he does a daily cartoon
of a Dalek, and
I try to share it out. I don't always remember to, but
it's really good. So here's my challenge as a listener. If you've not done a review, please do one. If you are listening to this podcast right now, my challenge to you is to find someone who likes Doctor Who that you know online or in real life, and talk them into listening to an episode of this show. That's it. That's all I want you to do. If you get them to listen, then we can grow because hopefully we can retain some people because it's
yes.
We think.
And let's be honest, we're not the normal Doctor Who podcast.
Oh, we're far from normal, sir. You like the 10th Doctor because he licks things.
Damn Skippy. Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, I'm Wes. That is Mike.
Woo!
He licks things.